Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Super Saturday. We are here live at the Rita Polo Farm for the second game of the Top Pony 8 Goal. We've got 8 players, we've got 2 umpires, and we've got action on its way. Fran Spinacci taking the ball towards goal, gets a little hit. Here comes Antonio Aguirre following him up, but Chris Campson's going to come in and steal that ball and try and work it the other way, and Fran Spinacci goes for a near side play, but he's hooked by Campson. Campson turns the ball around. He's got Nick Manifold downfield. Chris Campson sends it on down to Nick Manifold, being chased by Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci, 6 goals. Nick Manifold, 3 goals. 4. Bushwood in yellow. Bushwood in blue, Santa Rita in yellow. And they're on the far side of the field. Oh, and that didn't look good. Players looking for a foul right here. And here comes Mateus McDonald. Mateus McDonald, 3-goal player, going towards that Santa Rita goal, trying to score, trying to outrun Chris Campson. Staying ahead of Chris Campson by about 4 horse lengths. Mateus McDonald's going to shoot from there and puts it right on through, and that didn't take long at all here in the Top Pony 8 Goal. Mateus McDonough scoring the first goal of the game from about 55 yards out, putting his team up. 2 8-goal teams playing this morning. For Bushwood, we have Nick McClellan playing number 1, Nick Manifold at 3 goals playing number 2, Chris Campson at 6 goals playing number 3, and Michael Armour at A playing back in the number 4 position, and Bushwood is in yellow. For the Bushwood is in blue, easy to get them mixed up. Bushwood in blue. They were in the finals of the first 8-goal tournament, the Aspen Valley Cup. Santa Rita in yellow, and here's Chris Campson. Nick Manifold's riding off McDonough, giving Chris Campson some room to work. Chris Campson going to drop his horse's head and try and outrun, but Spinacci's there early enough for a back shot, and here comes Mateus McDonough. McDonough turns to the inside. He loses it momentarily. Chris Campson comes in there and drops on that line, but the umpires didn't like what they saw, and they're going to have a whistle right here. So apparently that ball must have been up and down the field. The 2 umpires will come together, and
hey, what you got on that one?
I had no foul on that play, no foul.
so it looks like we'll have a bowl in here early on in the game. Umpires disagreed on that call. Go to the third man. And third man declares no foul on the play, so we'll have a bowl in where the ball was when the whistle was blown. And Daniel Gallegos in the yellow umpire shirt. Marcos Oneto in the orange umpire shirt. Players will line up on Gallegos. So playing for Santa Rita, Fran Spinacci at B, Antonio Aguirre at A rating, Pablo Spinacci at 6 goals, and Mateus McDonough at 3 goals, 2 8-goal teams. No handicap. Chris Campson gets the ball out of the lineup, tries the next shot, but it's off his pony. Chris Campson going over to the far side. He's got to try and get rid of McDonough. Campson turns back to the inside, but a back shot out of there, and a whistle on the play, and it looks like this time Bushwood might be the recipient of an open goal penalty right here, and that would tie up the game. Scoreboard a little hard to see this morning, but a score of 1-0. Mateus McDonough scoring the only goal here in the first period. We are doing courtesy horse changes in the Top Pony 8 Goal. 8 teams entered this tournament, and we'll go over that as the game goes on. So Chris Campson teeing the ball up, and this looks like a penalty 3 in favor of Bushwood. 2 great ponies out there for Bushwood with Nick Manifold and Nick McClellan. Nick McClellan in the white helmet, Nick Manifold in the black helmet. Umpires call play. Chris Campson with that famous half swing sends it right on through, evening up the score here early in the first period of play. So the players and the umpires will come back to the center for a bowl-in, and of course they're right up in front of us, close and personal this morning. And It looks like we might have a courtesy horse change coming here fairly soon.
330.
And Marcus Neto lights the players up. And this is when we'll have our courtesy horse change.
Okay, this
Right
ain't
here, right
working.
I heard you.
But did you hear me this way or on the radio?
On the radio. So the top pony 8 goal, 6 teams in this tournament. Bracket 1 consisting of Santa Rita, which you are now viewing in yellow, and Amista Polo with Hope Ariano, Lucas Ariano, Aiden Meeker, and Hugo Lorette. And of course, there's only been one game played here in this tournament, and that's Amista Polo played against Beverly Equestrian the other day, and Amista Polo was victorious by a score of 8-4. They are playing cross-bracket play, so Santa Rita in bracket 1, Bushwood in bracket 2, and of course the third team in bracket 1 is Ellipse Polo with Santiago Gonzalez, Robbie Balboa, Beledo Palmonique, and Luis Devilax. So we'll go over bracket 2 when we have time, when we have another break in the action. Players are back after the first courtesy horse change of the day. So Bushwood on your left in blue, Santa Rita on your right in yellow. Marco Soneto, nice clean bowling, clean lineup. And Michael Armour first, but he leaves it for Nick Manifold. Here comes Fran Spinacci in there, and he's just got to clear out of there and give Nick Manifold the next play. And good non-call by the umpires. I like that. It didn't affect the play. It was a foul, but it didn't affect the play. Umpires choosing to play on, and now we've got a whistle right there. Just got to clear out of the way and not play that ball. A little right-of-way violation going on right there, and it looks like Bushwood might be setting up for another open goal penalty, and Chris Campson has been deadly on these penalties. Bushwood was in the finals of the Aspen Valley Cup. However, they were the runners-up against Dundas. And so they've won we're in the finals of the first 8-goal tournament. And this looks like a penalty 3 in favor of Bushwood and Chris Campson. Oh, and this time I might have jinxed him last time when I said he's been deadly on these, and this time this is the first one we've seen him miss in 2 8-goal tournaments. So, one for the record right there, a penalty 3, not able to score on this. So, Pablo tries to find Fran Spinacci, but Chris Campson's there to intercept. Chris Campson going to turn the ball back tight towards the inside. Nick Manifold's going to break downfield along with Mateus McDonough. Now Chris Campson's going to send one over to Michael Armour. That ball is deflected, given Mateus McDonough the back shot right to Pablo Spinacci. Pablo says, Fran, go on down, I've got it, but Nick Manifold's going to be the first to be there on a back shot. Aguirre with a back shot to McDonough. However, nobody able to get to that ball or the play. Chris Campson turns it, allows Aguirre to clear. Chris Campson sending it on up to Nick Manifold. Nick Manifold right in front of the goal, and a next shot right on through in live play action. So Bushwood scoring 2 here in the first period, scored it 2-1. Both teams on the flat, 2 8-goal teams. And Bushwood, Chris Campson and Nick Manifold working well together. Michael Armour closing the back door, and Nick McClellan playing up front, number 1. All 8 players are back for the center. Marcus Neto holding the ball up in his hand to let the players know when he's ready to throw the ball in. I actually like that. Pablo Spinacci attempts a back shot, but Michael Armour's going to come in. His horse balks on him just a little bit. And here comes Fran Spinacci. Fran Spinacci going to take that ball around. He avoids Nick McClellan. Fran Spinacci on the run. Nick Manifold's not going to cut him any slack. He avoids the hook of Nick Manifold, but Antonio Aguirre follows him up, takes a swing and a miss. Not able to connect. Chris Campson with a tail shot right over to Nick Manifold. These two working well together so far here in the early stages of this game. Nick Manifold with a little slap shot back to Chris. Chris reaches the ball on the near side. Pablo Spinacci's going to come in and put pressure on him. Chris Campson down along the far side of the boards. Passes up Fran Spinacci. And that ball has hopped over the boards. And nope. There's Spinacci. Spinacci turning on it with a crown in the field. A little difficult to see on that far side. Spinacci has to let Chris Campson clear. Now he slaps the shot down, but it's deflected off of Campson's pony. Spinacci turns back. He's got Fran Spinacci in the center of the field, and it looks like that's where he is not going to go. He's going to go to Antonio Aguirre on the far side, and there is Aguirre right there. So we're going to end the first chukker of play with a score of 2-1 in favor of Bushwood. This is both of these teams' first game here in the Top Pony 8 goals. Stay with us. Don't leave us. We've got 5 more to go here live at Santa Rita Polo Farm, and you're watching on Chukker TV. Welcome back, everyone, to this beautiful Santa Rita Polo Farm and Chukker TV. And we are getting ready to get underway. The second period of play in the second game of the Top Pony 8 Gold Tournament, hosted by the Grand Champions Polo Club. We've got 8 players. We've got 2 umpires. It's about a 64, 65 degree day. Rather windy, kind of a cool wind, but I know we've got it a lot better than a lot of people in the northeastern part of the United States, and also even in South Texas for that matter. Marco Soneto has the players lined up. He gives the ball back to the players, and Pablo Spinacci and Chris Campson come together, and we've got a quick whistle right there out of the bowl end. So it's a little tough to see what occurred there. We'll wait for the umpires to decide. But it looks like this whistle is going to go in favor of Santa Rita. Pablo Spinacci on that steel great pony, teeing the ball up. Got 2 youngsters up front with Fran Spinacci, who's rated B, but I don't know, certainly playing above his handicap. You can't leave him alone. Watching him sticking ball before the game was a sight to see, because he can certainly carry that ball down the field. Pablo Spinacci cranks one down the field, looking for Antonio Aguirre. Michael Armour's going to come in and ride him off and take a nice back shot, looking for Nick Manifold. Ball's deflected off Spinacci's mallet. Spinacci Waits for Bushwood to clear. Spinacci going to shoot, but it's deflected off a pony there as well. Chris Campson going to put the hook on Antonio Aguirre. Turn the ball right in front of goal. Fran Spinacci unable to get a hook. Chris Campson on the move. Takes it back towards the inside and now has Nick Manifold out front, and Spinacci has to go and catch him. Nick Manifold gets the leg on Spinacci. Manifold with a nice shot downfield. Manifold still on the ball. Spinacci still following him, going to try and get a hook or a near side play, but Nick Manifold swaps to the near side and puts a near side cut shot right on through. What a nice play between Campson and Manifold, going almost coast to coast. Manifold with a nice approach shot, sends the ball over towards the right-hand side of the goal just a little bit. Moves over to the near side, and a near side cut shot right on through. So Nick Manifold's second goal of the game. Both goals from the field. Bushwood, 3 goals right now to Santa Rita's 1, and Chris Campson scored on a penalty 3. And Chris Campson comes out of that bowling right there in a quick whistle. Line had not changed. So, looks like we might have a spot hit right here. And we have another whistle. Umpires possibly having a technical right here. Not going to take any mouth off the players early. So sending a message early in this game, early in the second period, of guys, we're not having any discussion. We're not having any back talk. Concentrate on your playing.
I thought Chris was quite calm on that one. I didn't hear anything.
Let us concentrate on the umpiring. So this ball is going to get moved from a spot hit to a penalty 4. So ball gets moved up 1 mark for unsportsmanlike conduct. And Santa Rita has a chance to close that gap by 2 goals to 1 goal. So it looks like Mateus McDonough going to take this penalty shot. Pablo Spinacci going to stay back and send the 2 youngsters, Fran Spinacci and Antonio Aguirre, down by the goal. In case the ball goes wide, they can keep it in. So let's see how Mateus can hit this penalty shot. Penalty 4. McDonough hits it along the ground. And Chris Campson with a back shot out of the goal. It was rolling towards the goal, but he had to back it to keep it from scoring. And here comes Manifold. Manifold on the move. Manifold down the field, and here comes Mateus McDonough back to mark him. Nick Manifold going to send the ball up to Michael Armour, but unable to do so. That ball's in the center, and here comes Mateus McDonough with a nice neck shot over to Antonio Aguirre. Antonio going to let that ball come off the boards, check down. And it looks like that ball has popped over the boards. So we will have a change of possession play right here. And in this play, the umpires count 8 seconds, set it down, and the other team has 5 seconds to put it back in play, which Chris Campson does quickly. Chris Campson now fires one down the field, looking for a blue jersey down there. Michael Armour being ridden off by Antonio Aguirre. Nick Manifold had no play on that play. Pablo Spinacci is going to send it back down to McDonough. McDonough has Chris Campson on his right hip. Oh, and a swing and a miss, but followed up by Fran Spinacci. And I said, watch this young man back up to McDonough. McDonough hits the ball a little bit to the left. Can he get there before it goes over the back line? Going to try a difficult cut shot. And he got more of that than I thought he would, but just a little bit wide to the left. So a nice play by the Santa Rita Polo team. And at this time, we will have our second courtesy horse change. So while we have time, let's go over those teams in bracket number 2. And Beverly Equestrian is the first team on the list with Catherine Brensel, Will Ballhouse, Toledo Ocampo, and Hilario Figueres. And they're an 8-goal team as well, and they have lost their first game, the only game played so far in the Top Pony 8-goal. And then, of course, we have Bushwood, who you are viewing now in blue. And the third team is Casablanca. And that team consists of Grant Ganzi, Juancito Bellini, Mickey Novicio Estrada, and Mia Novicio Estrada. And I actually like that team. That's an 8-goal team as well. So I don't think we have anything under 8 goals. 6 8-goal teams, cross-bracket play. Top 2 teams, 1 in each bracket, go to the finals. The finals scheduled for March 6th on a Saturday. Back to live action. Chris Campson's going to bring the ball in. And he's got Antonio Aguirre back there staying with him. Chris Campson sends it up to Manifold. Manifold dribbles forward a little bit. And Pablo Spinacci picks up the loose ball, sending it back down the field to Mateus McDonough. And that ball is still on the field, but Nick Manifold's going to pick it up. Chris Campson overrides. Manifold with a back shot into Spinacci's pony. Spinacci going to take it over, and we have a whistle. So not sure if that ball was over the back line or exactly what occurred on that play. We'll let the umpires sort it out. The umpires do have radios on where they can communicate with each other, and sometimes they like to ride together, which is the case right here. So they will have a discussion, and we'll get this game underway. But I think we needed a little tack timeout for one of the Santa Rita players to adjust some tack. Did not change horses. So Mateus McDonough back on the field, ready to go. Now the umpires will announce the play, and we'll get back to live action. So it looks like a bowl in here, and apparently there was some dangling tack down there that needed to be fixed, and the umpires blowing the whistle so it does not get tangled up and cause any danger. And of course there's another example of a fair play bowl in. Since Bushwood had the ball when the whistle was blown, the umpires will give the ball back to that team in possession of the ball, so the whistle does not penalize them. Here comes Campson. Campson hammers one over towards the center. He's got room to go. He's by himself, but Mateus McDonough's going to come in and check down and take the next play. Campson turns it back towards the inside. Nick Manifold breaking downfield. There's Michael Armour up there as well. Michael Armour jumps on the line and the right away. Still has possession of the ball. Michael Armour, one more tap towards goal. And here comes Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre moving that ball around. This is a 0-goal player right here. Bringing that ball over on the offside. Misses the near side. But Nick Manifold lets that ball go up against the boards. Nick clearing it off on the near side. Pablo Spinacci comes in to make another play. And Chris Campson jumps in front, and the whistle goes off. So it looks like a penalty 5A from the spot, since Pablo Spinacci had a back shot and nobody to hit to. No sense in moving that all the way to center, that much real estate. This was not an offensive play, it was a defensive play. So Mateus McDonough breaks to the center. Pablo Spinacci has a lot of room to work here. Chris Campson can't reach back and pick that ball up, and Spinacci sends it downfield. Fran Spinacci and Antonio Aguirre both going towards the ball. Ooh, and I didn't like that play at all. I think I saw a whistle, and I did. Nick Manifold on the line, and Fran Spinacci just coming in front. Not a big enough gap to allow him to make that play. So we'll have a penalty 5A in favor of Bushwood when the ball is placed down and teed up. And it looks like Campson will be taking this foul shot. Bushwood in blue, Santa Rita in yellow. Umpire calls play, and here's Chris Campson. Chris Campson. Oh, and we've got a whistle right there. And you know, that's just a good example of a right-of-way violation. And we see this play a lot on knock-ins. But really, when McDonough swapped from one side of the line of the ball to the other, Chris Campson had to lift his head. It is annoying. And the player with the right-of-way has a right to proceed down that right-of-way without having to lift his or her head. And of course, the right-of-way is ahead of the player entitled to it. And I think that was just a great example of, you know what, don't swap sides. If so, do it early enough so that you don't cause any danger there or cause a player to look up. And that's the same as if you fake a swing. If you're not sure if you're going to make a foul or not, you go in and attempt to make a back shot, and then you decide, no, I better not. Same thing. Faking a swing is a foul as well. And if you ask most players, because it upsets your timing and anticipation of the ball and the play. So that play right there, a little bit costly. The umpires did move that to a penalty 4. And I agree with the ball placement on that play. Chris Campson sends it right on through for Bushwood's 4th goal of the game. Score 4-1 in favor of blue over yellow Santa Rita. Marcos Neto has the players back towards center. Throws it back in. It gets caught up between the number 2s. And here is Nick McClellan. Nick McClellan gets a couple of swipes at it. Chris Campson comes out with it. Franz Bonacci goes for the hook. Unable to connect with that hook. Chris Campson sends it over for a nice approach shot towards goal. And Chris Campson's going to send this right on through in live play for Chris Campson's 3rd goal of the game. Bushwood's 5th goal of the game. So here comes our second horn. And we've got a rather great lead by Bushwood over Santa Rita, and we've got 4 more Chuckers to play. Stay with us here for live action on Chucker TV. Hello once again, everyone, and welcome back to Santa Rita Polo Farm. You're watching the Top Pony 8 Goal, second game of this tournament. Cross bracket play, so every team gets 3 games under their belt before the finals, and the ball's back in play. And Michael Armour is told to leave it by Campson. Campson going to send it up to Nick McClellan. Nick McClellan on this pretty little bay pony, unable to make contact with it right there, and Franz Bonacci grabs a hold of it, turns it, gonna drop it for Dad. Yes, he does, but Chris Campson comes in and reads that play and rides off, and we've got a whistle on that play. So riding into the swing, illegal riding into the swing I would presume, on that play. So it's going to be a center hit in favor of Santa Rita. Yep, ball is dropped to center by Daniel Gallegos. Daniel Gallegos, Marcos Aneto umpiring today, keeping the players and the ponies safe and the game under control. Pablo Spinacci and Mateus McDonough. Pablo at 6 goals, Mateus at 3 goals. And, of course, 2 young guns up front with Fran Spinacci at B and Antonio Aguirre at A. So Pablo Spinacci going to put this ball in play. He's got the wind at his back right here. We do have a windy day. It's 64 degrees, and here is Spinacci. Spinacci now hits a line drive down the field. There is Antonio Aguirre. He's got a difficult next shot. Put it over, and he puts it over, but it's over the back line, not through the goalpost. So a nice play there by Pablo, finding an open yellow jersey. And that shot would have taken a deep neck shot at the angle he was at to put it through the goal. So Chris Campson going to bring it in one more time. Chris Campson, he's got Nick Manifold breaking to his left. He's got Michael Armour breaking towards the center. All those players have fanned out, and he tries to get it to Michael Armour. However, here comes Pablo Spinacci. Spinacci turns the ball to his left. He sees his son breaking free. He's going to hit him a little pass. He does. Look at Fran Spinacci drop that horse's head. He's on the move. He's told to leave it by Mateus McDonough. 3 goals behind him. McDonough still on the ball, taking it towards goal. He's got a jump on Campson. McDonough going towards goal, and he puts it on through, and that's exactly what Santa Rita needed to get back in this game. A score of 5-2 in favor of Bushwood in blue. Wow, what a nice play between Pablo Spinacci, Fran Spinacci grabbing the line so an opponent could not do so. Being told to leave it by McDonough, and McDonough carrying that ball on through, getting a jump on the blue shirt and putting it on through the goalpost. So now we change directions after every goal. So Santa Rita in yellow on your left, Bushwood in blue on your right. Bushwood will have the wind at their back right now, and we'll get into the weather and the wind here in just a little bit when we have this courtesy horse change. Chris Campson trying to outmaneuver McDonough. Campson puts it in underneath. McDonough's horse kicks it forward. Campson couldn't find the ball. McDonough's going to end up with it, and Chris Campson tries to break up that play, but McDonough wins the play, unable to hit the bouncing ball. But Fran Spinacci backs him up, sends it on down. Fran Spinacci still on the move. Now McDonough's going to fall in behind, but Chris Campson, wow, what a handy great pony he's on right here. And he's got to let Fran Spinacci clear. Fran Spinacci clears, and now Aguirre has to clear as well. Campson sends it back over into the center, but Pablo Spinacci the first to read the play. He's got Nick Manifold behind him, so he better not turn to the right. He can't turn underneath his horse's neck. That's illegal play in polo. Trying to shake off. He's going to send a back shot back over to Mateus McDonough. Mateus McDonough with an approach shot to the left of the goal. And they are going to escort that ball over the back line right there. And that's going to be a half chucker for our third and final courtesy horse change of the first half in this game number 2 between Santa Rita and Bushwood. And don't forget, today at 4 o'clock, the finals of the All-Star Challenge, the first 26-goal tournament held in the United States. I would almost say the world, but I'm not sure what they're doing in Dubai. But anyhow, the first 26-goal hosted by the Grand Champions Polo Club, and that's the World Polo League. And that is going to feature Richard Mill against Hawaii Polo Life, 2 26-goal teams. And that is going to be Pablo McDonough taking on Adolfo Cambiaso and company. So tune in with us at 4 o'clock today. And, of course, you can see that on Chucker TV, the only free live streaming broadcasting company in the world, courtesy of Grand Champions Polo Club, the Ganzi family, and, of course, Chucker TV. Mike Ferreira and his crew doing a great job giving you all the close-ups, all the replays, drone footage. And this is actually just like a high goal game here this morning with 2 end zone cameras, the drone, center camera, beautiful field, 2 professional umpires, and two 8-goal teams giving you action here live, personal, and close up. So we're going to start with a knock-in favor of Bushwood. Santa Rita just missing that last goal shot down there, unable to put it in the center. So Chris Campson having a little powwow with his team. And the umpires call play, so now they'll break to their respected positions. And Campson will put the ball back in play. Nick McClellan over here in the center. Nick Manifold ahead of Campson, now going to break towards the far boards. Trying to find some clear area over there where he can receive a pass, and he does. But Pablo Spinacci's going to come over and keep him honest, and Manifold sends one straight parallel with the boards. Michael Armour and Antonio Aguirre riding each other off. Antonio Aguirre unable to get that back shot. Took his man a little bit too wide, and here comes Michael Armour, and Michael Armour with a shot. But the ball stays on the field. Pablo Spinacci and Nick Manifold vying for position over there in the far corner. He finds Antonio Aguirre downfield. Antonio going to check down. That's Madonna. I stand corrected. Madonna checks down. He's got two yellow shirts up front. Can he get it over to Spinacci or Aguirre? But no, Chris Campson is going to go downfield and allow Nick Manifold maybe to send a pass down to him. Nick Manifold tries to get one downfield, but unable to do so. And Pablo Spinacci comes in, hooks Chris Campson. Aguirre rides him off as well. Aguirre goes for the hook on Manifold, and McDonough comes in, crosses the right of way, and it looks like we will have a foul in favor of Bushwood. And of course, Bushwood is trying to score to your left. Santa Rita in yellow trying to score to your right if you're looking at the center camera. 64 degrees here in Wellington, Florida.
What'd you drop?
Quite a nice little breeze going on from the north to the south. This field does run north and south. South is to your left on the camera. So now Bushwood, with this penalty 4, does have the wind at their back. So an advantage here on penalty 4s at the south end. And Chris Campson has scored on a penalty 3 and a penalty 4 so far. So Nick Manifold and Campson back. Nick Manifold's going to stay back in case the ball is blocked and picked up by a Santa Rita player and taken down the field. At least there's some defense back. So here is Chris Campson. Chris Campson hits a worm burner. It's picked up by Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci brings that ball out to the right. Nick Manifold's going to stay with him. Spinacci hits a nice long shot back towards the center of the field. And here comes Fran Spinacci. Fran Spinacci unable to put Wood to ball. And Pablo Spinacci comes on through and is going to follow him up. Pablo Spinacci with his second goal. Chris Campson goes for the near side back shot. What a nice near side open back shot over to the far boards. But McDonough, first to turn on it, slaps a little shot back, and Fran Spinacci's going to pick up the loose ball and now leave it for Dad. Pablo sending it back over to Fran. Fran unable to do the near side, so he crosses over for the offside. What a nice play. He looked back over his shoulder, saw he had time, and Chris Campson's going to take the ball further along over towards the boards. Chris Campson turns it underneath his horse deck. Madonna has to give way. Chris Campson sends a shot downfield looking for Nick Manifold. Nick Manifold playing a lot of one out here in this game. Oh, and he heard footsteps behind him with Fran Spinacci. But Michael Armour comes through and sends a pass back up. Can Nick McClellan get there? And it looked like Pablo Spinacci might have been on the right of way on the offside. McClellan just jumped in there a little bit up front. That gap not quite big enough, so we will have a penalty 5B from the point of the infraction in favor of Santa Rita. So, a nice game going on here. Few fouls here and there, but if you're not fouling, you're not trying. And of course, the umpires gave a unsportsmanlike conduct in the first period of play. So it's been quiet ever since. And Pablo Spinacci sends it downfield a little bit too far for McDonough, and Campson picks it up. Campson going to run the turn and then change directions, going back the other way. puts it underneath and through McDonough's horse. McDonough has to give one play, so do all Santa Rita players. And here comes Campson on the move, hitting it down. And, of course, who's there but Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre, couldn't quite connect with the near side back shot. And here comes Campson and McDonough. But that ball is out of bounds over the back line to the left, and that's going to end the first half of play here in the Top Pony 8 goal. Stay with us. You're watching live action here on Chucker TV. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Steve Lane, and I'm with Marcos Oneto here at the beautiful Santa Rita Polo Farm. And Marcos Oneto is one of the officials in today's Top Pony 8-goal game, the second game of this tournament. And Marcos, how's everything going out there?
Hi, Steve. Everything is going pretty well. For 8-goal polo, looks like a pretty open game. So very, very young players, very talented players. So it looks like they're having fun.
I love to see these young players going out there, and Fran Spinacci, I just love watching him play. Now, you guys had an unsportsmanlike conduct whistle in the first period of play, is that correct?
Yes, I believe it was a technical call against, I believe, the number 3 in blue, just for arguing after a call. So yeah, we had to blow up a technical and move it forward. Yeah.
And it's been quiet ever since, hasn't it?
It's been pretty quiet, it's been pretty open. I think both teams are playing very well. Just yellow is just missing some, not capitalizing in their goals. Other than that, it's been pretty even.
Okay, great. I don't really have too much more to say. Everything looks calm, cool, collected out there. You and Danielle only disagreed on one call. It was very difficult to tell over here at ground level.
No, other than that, for 8-goal polo, it's amazing how open and fast it's been going, and they look like they're, like you said, I mean, Fran Spinacci turning the ball is amazing to watch. A lot of young players, and it looks like looks like they're having fun. And it's a pretty open game. So.
How is the chemistry between you and Danielle Gallegos, the other official?
It's pretty good. I getting to know Danielle. This is our second game together. We're starting to communicate a lot better. So.
Good. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Marcos. Thank you. I know you did the run coming up here. We want to keep you fresh and not have you tired on the way back for the second half.
No problem. Thank you, Steve.
Keep doing a good job and keep everything under control.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marcos. All right, there you have it. Straight from between the boards, straight to you. I'm Steve Lane. Stay with us. We'll be back with live action here on Chucker TV. Welcome back, everyone, to Chucker TV and the Santa Rita Polo Farm. What a day we've got going on here today. A great day for polo and kind of a nice 8-goal game going on right before our eyes. We have Bushwood playing against Santa Rita. Bushwood in blue, Santa Rita in yellow, in case you've just joined us. And we'd like to give a little shout out to Stephen Conroy watching up in freezing New Jersey, he says. I'm glad to have you with us, Stephen. And also Rape Ahmad from Brunei, watching all the way from Brunei. So Chucker TV, live streaming polo all over the world. Back to action. Pablo Spinacci bringing this ball in off the back line, has to reach down in front of his pony, puts it into his own pony's legs, and Mateus McDonough turns the ball, but it's stolen by Nick Manifold. And now McDonough turns back, has no play, has to clear, give it to Chris Campson. Chris Campson going to shoot for goal. It's going to be just a little bit outside that right-hand post. So a little bit of cat and mouse action going on down there. Nick Manifold. And we'll have a knock-in here by Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci hits the ball straight to Nick Manifold. Nick Manifold changing the line on that play, but it's picked up by McDonough. McDonough still on the ball, 3-goal player right here. Tries to find Fran Spinacci, but unable to do so. And Chris Campson sends a back shot back over to Nick Manifold. Nick Manifold going to take a deep neck shot from far out, and sends it across the goal, a little bit overcut on that play. So Pablo Spinacci needs to get something going here for Santa Rita. A little better knock-in strategy we'd like to see. And, of course, Fran Spinacci, he's going back saying, Dad, I'm going to go over here. Look for me. I've been free. They're not marking me. And Pablo, on this great pony, tries to find Antonio Aguirre. However, Nick McClellan, he goes for a back shot. Couldn't quite connect. Fran Spinacci picks up the ball behind. Fran Spinacci going down the field, hooked by McClellan. Chris Campson with a near side back shot. Stopped by Manifold. Manifold with a back shot of his own. However, Mateus McDonough, the first to arrive on the scene. McDonough does a tight circle inside. Michael Armour staying back with him. Nick Manifold gets a piece of it, but McDonough still wins the play. McDonough being coached by Spinacci behind. Spinacci can't get to the ball, but Manifold does, and we've got a breakaway right here by Chris Campson for Bushwood. Chris Campson, look at Antonio Aguirre going for the whip. Campson sends it a little bit off to the right, a near side shot, unable to put it through the post, but a nice play and a nice thought process by that Bushwood team. Chris Campson, Nick Manifold working well together. So Pablo Spinacci once again will bring the ball back in play for that Santa Rita squad. Spinacci sends it over to the far boards, looking for Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre working the ball. Michael Armour's going to come in. Michael Armour overrides Aguirre. Still in possession of the ball. Fran Spinacci sends it back up to him. And look at this young man go. Fran Spinacci unable to connect on that play, but Chris Campson picks up the ball on the near side, and Mateus McDonough's going to hang with him. Chris Campson turns the ball underneath his horse's neck. Close, tied up by the boards, digging the ball off the boards. Chris Campson looking for a blue jersey. He's got 3 of them downfield. He sends it down looking for Nick McClellan. Here comes Nick McClellan. Nick McClellan, and he's whistled for his efforts, and that's the second time we see that play with Fran Spinacci closing that gap right behind him, drawing the foul, and this will be our courtesy horse change right here, right now. So nobody able to score in the third period by either team. Still a score of 5-1 in favor of Bushwood. So a stalemate in the third period. Just kind of a breakdown going on for Bushwood scoring. Nick Manifold had 1 in the first and 1 in the second from the field. And Chris Campson had 1. A penalty 3 in the first, a penalty 4 in the second, and 1 from the field in the second. And for Bushwood, only 1 goal by Mateus McDonough in the first period of play. Trace, 5-1, right? So a stalemate in the third period. 5-2, that is correct. 5-2 the score in favor of Bushwood. So all players coming back after that courtesy horse change. And the courtesy horse change is designed to allow the horses to recoup. Even though it is a cool, windy day, one of the players was very adamant before the game about having these courtesy horse changes today. And all players appreciative of the courtesy horse change. Probably if ponies could talk, they'd tell you the same thing. Pablo Spinacci on this great pony brings it over to the right. He's got to get around Chris Campson some way, somehow. Chris Campson still staying out front, not blocking, not fouling, but narrowing the activity or the angle of a cut shot here. And Mateus McDonough digs that ball out. Nick McClellan jumps on the loose ball. Nick McClellan going like a house of fire down the field. Franz Spinacci's going to come up and try a near side back shot, but McClellan gets the ball downfield. Spinacci looking over his shoulder. Does he have an offside play? Yes, he does. And here comes Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre unable to connect. And Chris Campson anticipated that back shot, went a little bit wide, then came back to the ball with Spinacci coming down the line and the right of way. So a nice play by the Santa Rita team, taking that play away from Bushwood. So Pablo Spinacci will be the recipient of a penalty 5B from the point of the infraction. And it just shows you Chris Campson even anticipated the back shot of that young and up-and-coming polo player. And I would have done the same thing because he doesn't miss. Pablo Spinacci sends it back over to Antonio Aguirre. Antonio on the near side sends it downfield. He comes together with Michael Armour. They both neutralize each other, and Chris Campson picks up the loose ball. There goes Antonio Aguirre over to the far boards. Has no play. Chris Campson comes out with it. Franz Spinacci going to keep him there, and here comes Nick McClellan. Nick McClellan with another run towards goal. Nick McClellan, a bouncing ball. Tough luck for Nick, but it's picked up by Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci going to turn. So does Antonio Aguirre downfield, but he finds Franz Spinacci over on the far side. Franz Spinacci taking the ball towards goal. Going to try and work both sides of the pony. Sends it up. Chris Campson gets a handle on it. Sends it back over and is going to get whistled for turning on that play. So, Chris Campson, the back shot would have deleted that foul and it would never have occurred. And, of course, on these turning plays, there's always other options, as we have mentioned in the past. And it's not a foul to turn the ball. It's a foul to make an abrupt line change in front of opponent and then follow that abrupt line change with not a big enough gap. And, of course, the lower handicap level of polo that you're playing, the bigger the gap needs to be, which you may not think is quite correct. But, however, the handiness of the horses, the anticipation of the players, the ability of the players, quite different in low goal polo compared to higher medium goal polo. So a little question. Santa Rita would like a penalty 3 out of this. And the umpires were at the penalty 4 line. It looks now that they are at the penalty 3 line. 40-yard undefended penalty shot. Penalty 3's not defended anymore here in the United States unless it's 8-goal polo or higher. And actually, I'm not even sure it's an option anymore, just for the protection of the ponies. And remember, the rules were written, first of all, for the protection of the ponies and then for the protection and safety of the players. So Pablo Spinacci looking to put a penalty 3 on the board right here. Hits it on through, and no problem for Spinacci. Desperately needing that goal, making it a score of 5-3 right now. And Bushwood unable to score in the third or this period so far. So, Santa Rita coming back, closing that gap on the scoreboard. Maybe getting a little rhythm and a little momentum going here in this game. I think as far as fouls go, it's been fairly even. I don't think one team has fouled a heck of a lot more than the other. So the ball's back in play, and Chris Campson comes out with it out the back door, and there's your first horn right there. Campson sends it on down, finds Nick Manifold. Nick Manifold on the near side, now back to the offside. Checking down. Spinacci's going to come in, but he's trying to navigate around Mateus McDonough and go to goal. He's got McDonough ridden off, and Nick Manifold with a near side shot straight through the goal, and what a way to end Chucker number 4, their first goal of the game since the second period of play. So don't go away. We've got more polo to play, and you're watching live here on Chucker TV. Back once again here at Santa Rita Polo Farm. And Michael Armour just coming over and having a chat with his father, Red Armour, former 9-goal player. And we've got all players on the far side where we will start with a bowl in. Over there. And a great day for polo, 64 degrees, a little wind blowing from the north to the south. This field runs north and south. So south being on your left when you're at the center camera, north being on your right. Chris Campson's going to get that stale ball out of the bowl in and hit downfield looking for Nick Manifold, who's over in the center. Mateus McDonough's going to go back and retrieve that ball, turn it towards the outside. Mateus still on it, 3-goal player, working, trying to get around Chris Campson, and there goes Antonio Aguirre. Nick Manifold wins the play on the offside, now to the near side. Chris Campson's going to ride off McDonough behind and fall in behind Manifold. Manifold has Spinacci on his left. Manifold with another shot towards goal, and he's still working it towards goal. Unable to get it there, and the ball's going to be wide to the right over the back line where Pablo Spinacci will have a knock-in at the south end of the field. Going into the win, Santa Rita will be in yellow. Umpire calls play. Spinacci brings it back in. Nick Manifold's going to stay back with him. Spinacci sends it over to his left, looking for Antonio Aguirre, son of Mariano Aguirre. And here is Mateus McDonough. Wow, nobody marked him. How did he get loose? Mateus McDonough picks up the ball, looks over his shoulder. Here comes Michael Armour. Michael Armour putting pressure on him. McDonough, here's footsteps, unable to hit that bounced ball. Chris Campson's going to pick it up and turn it to the outside. Campson has to get around to Gary. He looks downfield. He surveys. He's got Michael Armour on his left. He's got Manifold marked up by Spinacci in the center. Chris Campson still trying to get around Antonio Aguirre. Look at Antonio drop his horse's head and stay with Campson. Campson checks down, still unable, and now he gets around Aguirre just a little bit. He's got a jump on him, but Aguirre's quickly going to catch him back up. Chris Campson checking down. He's got 3 yellow shirts over there on the side. And we've got an umpire's whistle, and I believe Aguirre just bit off more than he could chew over there on the side and got in front of Campson. So the umpires coming together, and a possible penalty 4 coming in favor of Bushwood. And that's where they are marching towards, so we'll see if they're going to put it at a 4 or a 3, but my guess would be a penalty 4 since that was the last 2 players on the field. Penalty 3, undeserving at this point. Penalty 3 should be an automatic goal, although one was missed earlier in this game. We won't mention by who. Don't want to throw any players under the bus. Want to have a positive attitude when it comes to Chucker TV and polo here at Grand Champions. So Chris Campson going to take this penalty 4. He's made one already today from the penalty 4 line and actually into the wind. This time he has the wind at his back with a little bit of an advantage. He puts one high in the air, but wide to the left-hand side. So a nice attempt by Bushwood and Campson. And the umpires call play, and Spinacci will once again bring the ball back in off the back line. Spinacci has Manifold there. Spinacci going to bring it over here right in front of us, looking for his son, Fran. But Michael Armour wins the ride-off and wins the play. And here comes Fran Spinacci. Fran Spinacci goes on by McDonough. Oh, and what a nice play. Manifold picks up the loose ball, and Campson called for it. Campson ahead of Pablo Spinacci. Can he keep a hold of this bouncing ball? No. And Pablo Spinacci going to turn the ball, picks it up, slows down, checks down, fakes a back shot, turns it to his right. Can he win this play? Yes, he does. Has to wait for Campson to clear so he doesn't hit it into Campson. Nice sportsmanlike play by Pablo Spinacci. And here comes Nick McClellan and Antonio Aguirre. Nick Manifold, he has Fran Spinacci right there. Fran Spinacci riding into the back shot, coming over the top of the ball from behind.
Half chucker.
So there's our half chucker. And we will have our 5th courtesy horse change of this game. And don't forget, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, another game in the Top Pony 8-goal tournament. And, of course, this afternoon on Chucker TV, the first 26-goal polo tournament held in the United States, the World Polo League All-Star Challenge, where Pablo McDonough and company will take on Adolfo Cambiaso and company. And that's 4 o'clock today, the finals of the All-Star Challenge. 2 26-goal teams going up against each other. 2 10-goal players going up against each other. Teammates in Argentina, but opponents here in Wellington, Florida. And, of course, that will be the 4th completed tournament of the Grand Champions Polo Club. 19 tournaments scheduled for polo this 2021 season. All of them hosted by Grand Champions. So a lot of polo yet to be played this season. Of course, we do play through the end of May. And Grand Champions has about 17 fields to choose from. And even for 8-goal polo, this field here looks amazing. We have seen some bouncing balls, but players not letting it settle. And can't really blame it on the field too much. So back to live action. We've got a penalty 5A from the spot. Chris Campson cranks one downfield, the wind at his back, and that ball is carrying right on down to the end. Will it go over the back line, or can a blue shirt get there first? And we've still got action in front of the goal. Nick Manifold's going to go for a back shot. Antonio Aguirre comes in to block that back shot, picked up by Mateus McDonough. Here comes McDonough, Manifold with a near side back shot. Chris Campson, even though he's got a 3 on his back, he's playing 1 in this position. But Campson comes in front of Spinacci, and we heard a whistle go off. Tough to see the line of the ball from here, but it looked like Spinacci was on Manifold's back shot. Campson not having a big enough gap right there to make that play. Umpire's right on top of the play, and I believe that ball went through the goal as the whistle went, so this will take a goal-scoring opportunity away from Bushwood. A lucky break for Santa Rita and a nice play, riding out that play by Pablo Spinacci. Pablo Spinacci's going to send it back over here to Antonio Aguirre, but Michael Armour with a nice ride-off can't quite check up and let the ball pass his stirrup. So Antonio Aguirre is going to take that loose ball and send it over in towards the center. And here comes Nick McClellan. McClellan called off by Campson. Campson on the near side. Fran Spinacci is going to pick it up, and and we would like to have seen that. Who's the first to turn on this play? Line of the ball coming across the field. Here comes Michael Armour and Fran Spinacci. And a whistle sounds on that play. Michael Armour was not swinging or going for the ball, and however, he was hooked by Pablo Spinacci. And, of course, the rule of the game on that is you can only hook a player when they are in the act of hitting or swinging at the ball, or hooking you, as a matter of fact. You can knock the hook down. But in this case here, unable to hook the player as he's going by, it does upset the swing. And since Michael Armour was the first to go to goal, the first pair between him and Pablo, where the foul occurred, and that's why the umpires are marching towards that penalty 4, 60-yard defended shot. So Chris Campson, one more time, has an opportunity to convert a penalty 4 here. Once again, the wind is at his back. And since these players have teed up their penalty 5s, we see a lot more one-time hits on penalty 5s. However, players have always been able to tee up the 2s, 3s, 4s, and the penalty 6s, which is a safety for any of our new viewers. Here's Chris. It's up. It's up, it's up, and we've got an umpire, we've got a goal judge, both behind each goalpost saying, hey, it's good, it's through the center, and we're going to count that one as a goal. So a penalty 4, Chris's second penalty 4 of the game, with a score of 7-3. Thank you, Tracy. All players and umpires on the far side of the field. We swap directions of the bowl ends. After the half, the teams do not get a choice of direction. And a little tough to see what went on there, but we did have a whistle on that play. Daniel Gallegos right there on top, and it looks like it's going to be a penalty 4 in favor of Santa Rita. So something occurred over there, unable to give you an in-depth opinion or commentary of what took place on that far side of the field. 1:34 left in this 5th period of play. And Pablo Spinacci teeing up the ball. He could desperately use a penalty 4 in his direction right now. Pablo going a long ways back. And actually, the umpires used to line up behind, 60 yards behind, and the players had to turn inside. Nowadays, they just have 20 seconds to hit the ball. So Pablo Spinacci puts the ball in the air on his own, and Franz Spinacci was going to take a swipe at it in the air. Decided not to, but that ball is wide to the left. So a tough break for Santa Rita. Chris Campson on this gray pony. Going to put the ball back in play. Chris Campson looking around. He's got room to work. The clock is on his side. He sends one over across the field. Nick Manifold breaks free. Nick Manifold has time to check down, a lot of time to check down. Nick McClelland out front. Nick Manifold tries to get by Pablo Spinacci, and he does. Chris Campson's going to pick up Spinacci behind and fall in behind Manifold. Manifold still with the line and the right away, sends it over into the right-hand corner. Can Michael Armour get there? Michael Armour coming in, but is ridden off by Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre with a near side back shot. Chris Campson comes in and meets the ball. Allows Spinacci to clear. Manifold's going to break towards center. Chris Campson told to use it. Manifold picks up the play, shoots towards goal, and there's our second horn, but Antonio Aguirre unable to clear it, but followed up by McDonough. He clears it across. Fran Spinacci breaking down the field. Fran Spinacci anticipated that play, and here comes Spinacci. One shot down the field. Can he outrun the horn? Unable to control that bouncing ball. So is Campson. McDonough's going to send it back up to him, but Spinacci checked down and looked over his shoulder. Here comes Spinacci. Going to take a neck shot towards goal. And the ball still on the field. Here comes McDonough. Going to turn it in the far corner. And that's going to end Chucker number 5 win. Santa Rita was going to goal with a drive. But stay with us. We've got one more period to go in regulation play as Bushwood is leading Santa Rita by a score of 7-3 here on Chucker TV. Welcome back, everyone, just in time as the umpires have the players lined up where we ended that last period with the ball still on the field. So we'll start with the bowl in right here. The ball's back in play, and it's a little bit of a scrum going on. Manifold takes a swipe at it, unable to clear it out of that bowl in lineup. But here comes Chris Campson going the opposite way. He's hooked by Mateus McDonough, but Nick Manifold picks up that ball, send it down to Nick McClelland. Nick McClelland gets a little piece of it on the near side, and a nice near side back shot by Mateus McDonough. Chris Campson rides off Antonio Aguirre, son of Mariano Aguirre. Chris Campson looking over his shoulder. He's got room over here in this corner, and Pablo Spinacci's going to come in, checking down on that bouncing bay pony. And Campson unable to keep a hold of it. Yes, he finally does break free from Spinacci. Spinacci's horse not helping him out too much on that play, but Chris Campson still going. Spinacci unable to get the hook. Campson with a half swing. Now staying on the offside, picks up the loose ball. Can he hit it out of the air? Yes, he does. Unable to reach McClelland, and McDonough unable to make the near side back shot. Campson's going to work the ball towards goal and now shoot towards goal. Oh, it's deflected and still carries right on through. What a nice play by Chris Campson and Bushwood, taking their time, showing some patience, and ending up putting it on the board for Chris Campson. His 5th goal of the game, 3 of them on penalties. So it looks like this game might be slipping away just a little bit from Santa Rita. Bushwood in full control. Fouls have been even. One team not fouling a heck of a lot more than the other, but Bushwood having a higher percentage of putting the ball through the uprights than Santa Rita. Chris Campson once again wins that bowl in, sends the ball downfield. Here comes Nick McClellan and Pablo Spinacci. Don't go in there in front, Nick. And he did. So he was opening up that gap a little bit, but still for 8-goal polo, not quite of a big enough gap. And we hear another whistle right there. We did have an unsportsmanlike conduct whistle in the first period of play, in case you've just joined us. So that normally would be a penalty 5A from the point of the infraction. However, the technical unsportsmanlike conduct whistle is going to move that up to center, at least center. And you know what? Should that happen a third time in the game, then this one might have gone to a penalty 4. But this is only the second unsportsmanlike conduct. Umpires keeping control of the game, and a lot of times if you ask players, what do you like about an umpire? What should be the umpire's main thing? Well, the main thing is to control the game. And if you control the game, then more than likely the players fall in line. So Pablo Spinacci puts it in play from center. McClellan gets a little bit of a stick on it, and the ball bounces. It deflects. It gives Nick Manifold the line, and McDonough comes back in front and whistled for his efforts.
He looked okay from here. No foul.
So the umpires have a disagreement on that call.
No foul. I said no foul.
So it looks like we'll have a bowl in. That ball gets hit off the field. So no foul declared on the play. So the umpires will bowl the ball in where the ball was when the whistle was blown. At least that way, the Santa Rita Yellow team does get the real estate that they had advanced the ball to in this case. To bowl the ball in where the foul was thought to have occurred would penalize a team when actually no foul occurred. So a back shot out of there by Michael Armour, and here comes Chris Campson. Chris Campson avoiding the hook of Pablo Spinacci. Chris Campson controlling that bouncing ball. Going to check down, keep it on his offside, in between two yellow shirts. 6 goals in the front. Oh, and what a nice play by Mateus McDonough. Sends it up to Pablo Spinacci. 3 goals, sending it up to 6. Pablo Spinacci going to turn on this bay pony. Going to try and turn inside to Chris Campson. Chris Campson has to get out of the way and clear up to Fran Spinacci. Fran reaches back. Hits that ball, still on it. Here comes Mateus McDonough. Sends a little bit of a belly shot. Nick Manifold going to take the ball forward with Fran Spinacci right on his hip. Manifold called off by Campson. Chris Campson turns back towards the inside, trying to get around McDonough, and does leave Aguirre. So here's 3 yellow shirts. Pablo Spinacci unable to take it across the field, but picked up. Dad, don't worry, I've got it. So Franz Spinacci sends it over towards the bar. It's being followed up by McDonough. Spinacci sends it on up to Aguirre. But Chris Campson there with a little near side back shot to break up the play, but it's still picked up by McDonough. McDonough coming across the field, working the ball towards goal. Antonio Aguirre's going to get out of the way. McDonough takes a shot on goal, and what a nice play by Michael Armour. Michael Armour saves that ball from trickling through the goal. Chris Campson picks it up and turns it back towards the inside. Campson. Spinacci's going to stay with him, and Campson sends a headhunter right down the field, and this time Nick McClellan, he's got room, and he's got to jump on his man. McClellan with a nice shot downfield, but what bad luck. Breaks his mallet on that play, and going to ride off and get a new mallet, unable to hit it with a cane, and McDonough is going to turn the ball back towards the inside. McDonough, we haven't had a break in the action. It's due for a courtesy horse change on the next dead ball foul, and Nick Manifold shoots towards goal, but it doesn't reach the back line. Stolen out of there by Pablo Spinacci. Mateus McDonough, Manifold with another back shot. Fran Spinacci sends it over in towards the corner. Here comes McDonough. McDonough in a handy spot after he retrieved the ball from the center, and here comes Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre on the move, sending a nice shot down the field. Being followed by McDonough. Aguirre still on the ball. Aguirre going to try it, put it towards center. What a nice approach shot. Can he get to it? Does he need to get to it? Oh, and it hits his horse's right front leg and a tough break. Ball just wide to the right with 1:23 left in the period, and we've had some running and gunning going on here. This is the first opportunity for the dead ball, so we will do our courtesy horse change at this time. And don't forget, we've got polo every single day on Chucker TV. Tomorrow, another game in the $100,000 World Cup. Monday, a game in the $100,000 World Cup. And tomorrow afternoon, Casablanca, who was victorious yesterday, will be playing Mint Eco Car Wash. Excuse me, no, that game is not on the schedule yet. You'll have to go to gcpolo.com for the daily game schedule. But we do have a Top Pony 8-goal game tomorrow morning. The finals of the first 26-goal tournament held here in the United States, the World Polo League All-Star Challenge, hosted by Grand Champions Polo Club. And then, of course, Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon, each day a game in the $100,000 World Cup Polo Tournament. And we've had one game played in that so far. That is single game elimination. You must win to stay in, and what a game that was, with Casablanca being victorious over Hawaii Polo Life. So lots of polo to be seen and viewed here on Chucker TV, bringing you all the live action with the end zone cameras, slow motion, instant replay, the drone footage, and of course in the World Polo League and the $100,000 World Cup challenges. So some teams know how to use challenges. Some teams are not very informative. Each team gets one challenge per half. I like that a lot better than one challenge per game. And of course, the courtesy horse change is going on in the World Polo League for this first tournament and also the $100,000. Some ponies not quite fit yet. And actually, maybe some players not quite fit yet. So the courtesy horse change appreciated by both players and ponies, although we haven't heard any ponies say they don't like it. So 1:23 left in this sixth period of play. A score of 8-3 in favor of Bushwood. Umpires call play. Chris Campson going to put this ball in play. No need to stall the clock. Let's go ahead and play polo. And he finds Nick Manifold over in the center. He'd certainly like to find Nick McClellan downfield and hit the ball, but here's Michael Armour. Michael Armour with a shot, carrying it down the field. He's got Antonio Aguirre on his hip. Unable to get a long shot downfield, but that's 3 shots he's had. He's getting it downfield now. 4th shot, and the ball left behind. And who's going to pick it up? But Campson. Chris Campson, 6-goal player, sends it downfield. Here comes Nick Manifold. Nick Manifold trying to carry that ball towards goal. A difficult cut shot and unable to put it in there. The ball is still on the field, and here comes Antonio Aguirre. Antonio Aguirre sends it over to the far boards. Right, Michael Armour going to stay with him. Checks down, and Chris Campson picks it up on a neck shot right up against the boards. And here is Mateus McDonough. Mateus McDonough going to do a tight turn. Players kind of slowing down, and, of course, they'll play this out till the second horn. And here comes Antonio Aguirre. Fran Spinacci, he's not going to give up. Misses that near side neck shot. Chris Campson's bringing it here across the field. Pablo Spinacci going to stay with him. But no sense in getting a player or a horse hurt at this time with this much time left. Nick McClellan's going to come over here and get that loose ball, and the players are going to call it a day, shake hands. What a nice 8-goal game here, the second game of the Top Pony 8-goal. Clean game. Few fouls by each side. I don't say that one team fouled any more than the others, but Chris Campson a little bit luckier on those penalty 4s and the foul shots than Santa Rita. Don't forget, join us today at 4 o'clock for the finals of the All-Star Challenge 26-goal tournament live on Chucker TV, hosted by the Grand Champions Polo Club. Tune in then. We hope to hear from you on Facebook or comments, and we look forward to seeing you there at 4 o'clock. So long for now. I'm Steve Lane. Take care and stay with us on Chucker TV all through the week for live polo action.